Hello everyone and welcome to this new session. Our lesson today is going to be about pronouns and verbs. Yes, before I start this session, I just want to tell you that you mustn't be surprised if I can give some English lessons in this session, which is supposed to be a French session. The reason why I can do that is that for me to explain you something in French, for you to understand it properly, you will need to be aware of the things in the language you already speak. If you speak English, obviously, or many of you speak English, you already know the things in English. But for you to know it in French, you have to be aware of what you're using in French, what is the equivalent of this thing in English. That's the only reason why you can see that the lesson will start with an English lesson and go to French lesson. That's it. Yeah, so that you can make yourself understood properly. So don't be surprised if you have some English lessons every now and then in the lesson sessions I have with you. Thank you. Right. Pronouns are these little words you use to say who is doing what to whom, or who is doing what to what. And it's just like in English or in any language. You need to know what pronoun to use in order to make yourself understood properly. So I know for many people it's a bit hard to know what type of pronoun or what pronoun to use. Mostly in French you go this and that. You go je and moi. You don't know when to use je, when to use moi. It's going to be easy, it's going to be simple. I'm going to explain to you when to use je, when to use me, when to use moi, when to use whatever. Right, so pronouns. What is a pronoun? Actually, a pronoun, as the name is, pronoun. You get two words there, pronoun. Pro means for, and noun means noun. Grammatically, noun. Yeah? Pronoun. So the pronoun comes when you don't use a noun. Let's say, what is a noun? We're going to go from one thing to another one. Pronoun, what is a pronoun? A noun, what is a noun? A noun is, when I say Jack, Jack is a noun. When I say John, John is a noun. Grammatically speaking, John is a noun. When I say Cinderella, Cinderella is a noun, grammatically speaking. If I say the tree, tree is a noun. When I say the car, car is a noun. If I say the window, window is a noun. If I say the table, table is a noun. Actually, a noun is any word you can put an article in front of it or a number. If you can count it, put a number, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and thousand and billions in front of a word, that word is a noun. I can say 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees. Tree is a noun. I can count 1 house, 2 houses, 3 houses, 4 houses. House is a noun. So whenever I can put a number or an article, I say the house or 4 houses. House is a noun. So if I don't want to use the word house, I can replace it by what is called pronoun. Yeah, so that's where pronoun comes. If I say the house is beautiful, instead of saying the house is beautiful, I'm gonna use a pronoun which is going to replace the noun, which is going to replace the word house. So it's going to be it is beautiful. It, the word it, is my pronoun. That's it, pronoun. So it's coming to replace the noun house. So that's a pronoun. So now what we're going to see here today is the pronouns in French. How do you use pronouns in French and what are they? They're simple. Pronouns in French are simple as in any language you speak. The Spanish people, they say yo, tu, and so on and so forth. English people say I, you, and so on and so forth. But French people say je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. So before going any further, there's one thing you need to know about pronouns in French or in any language. The pronouns are divided in 2 groups. You got pronouns that are subject and pronouns that are object. The subject, what is subject? The subject is actually the one that does the action or the one that is described. If I say, for example, the baby cries. The baby cries. I have the word baby, and I'm putting an article in front of it, which makes me say that this is a noun because I'm using the. I can use a, I can use the, I can use one, I can use 10. So I can say the baby is crying. I can say a baby is crying. I can say one baby is crying. I can say 10 babies are crying. We got baby, which is a noun. So let's go to French, and I'm going to say le bébé pleure. I got le, which is an article. Le bébé pleure. I can also say un, which is a, one baby. Un bébé pleure. I can say many babies are crying. This bébé pleure. So my word baby, bébé, is a noun. I don't want to say baby anymore. I'm going to replace it by a pronoun. So my pronoun is going to be il. For baby, you don't need to specify the gender of the baby. Like enfant, baby and bébé et enfant in French. You don't need to specify if it's a boy or a girl, if it's a male or female. You just can say le bébé, yeah? Male or female, le bébé. So instead of saying le bébé, I will say il. If I know the gender of the baby and I want to specify with the pronoun, then I'm going to say elle. Elle pleure. Il pleure. This is someone doing the action of to cry, pleure. Le bébé pleure. The action is pleure, to cry. Who's doing the action? Baby. That's the subject for us. So I'm replacing the word baby by a pronoun, which makes it il, if it's a male, elle, if it's a female, pleure. Il pleure. That's the subject doing the action. Il pleure, doing the action. Now, you go, je mange. What the action? Manger. To eat. Manger. Who's doing the action? Je. Je mange. Je is the subject. So whatever person is doing the action, that person is a subject. So that's what we replace by je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Of course, you go 3 singular and 3 plural. You go singular, which is one person only. So which is je, tu, il, and elle. We're talking about only one person, one subject. If we go to many subjects, it's going to be we, including the person who's talking. Nous. Nous is we. So including the person who is talking. Nous. Vous is many people, not including the person who is talking. So he's talking about other people. Vous. He's talking about you, not including him. So vous. Or il and elle, which is them, other people as well. Them. These are plural. So singular is je, tu, il, elle, without s on il and elle. Plural is nous, vous, il with s, elle with s. That's what we got as subject. So pronouns as subject, and they call it in French pronom personnel sujet. That's pronom personnel sujet. You can use these pronouns only and only to conjugate a verb. If you use je, you make sure that you're putting a verb after that and you conjugate the verb. You can't say in English, I to go. Can you? The same way, if you can't say I to go, then you can't say je venir. You can never say that. You have to say je viens. If you cannot say I to finish my job, then you cannot say je finir mon travail. You have to conjugate it. I finish my job. Je finis mon travail. Je finis mon travail. So whenever you use je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, you have to conjugate the verb that is coming after that. And these pronouns have to be used only and only with a verb. If you're not intending to use the verb, don't use them. The same way as I. You don't use I without a verb, do you? So if you don't use I without a verb, same way, don't touch them without a verb. Touch them if you got a verb coming after that, and the verb has to be conjugated. That was for the subject. Now, I said earlier that you got 2 groups of pronouns. Some of them are subject, the one doing the action, that we call them sujet, in French, sujet. and others are object, the one receiving the action, which is called complément. So you go pronom personnel sujet and pronom personnel complément. Pronom personnel sujet are the one I've just explained. You doing the action. So je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Je marche, je pleure, je chante, tu danses, nous venons, vous allez, ils vont, or ils chantent, or ils dorment. These are the people doing the action or being described. Il est beau. Il est beau. Il semble heureux. So these are the people being described. Il est heureux. Il semble heureux. Il est beau. Il devient jeune. You're describing the subject. And when it comes to the object, which is complément, this is the one receiving the action done by the subject. See if you say, I look at the tree. I is the subject doing the action of looking at the tree. Tree is the object receiving my action. The action is done by I, which is the subject, which is what is the action? Looking. Looking is my action. And where the action going? To the tree. The tree is receiving the action. The tree is the object, what we call complément. That's the complément. Complément d'objet. So, in English, complément, that complément is going to be object. Same way, if I don't want to use the word tree, I'm going to replace it by the pronoun. Pronoun, I explained, which is pronoun. For noun, for the noun. Pronom in French, pour le nom. Pronom, pour nom. Pronom in French, pour nom. Pronom. So I'm going to use a pronoun in French to replace the word tree. So I'm saying I'm going to use a pronoun as the subject doing the action on the tree, and then the pronoun as the object receiving the action. It's going to be, I look at it. It is my pronoun. I look at it. In French, it's going to be, je le regarde. Je le regarde. Le is my pronoun for tree. So the object, personal pronouns, or les pronoms personnels complément in French, the personal pronoun object, which are object in French, they are me, M apostrophe, moi, for je. Each subject has its own object. Each subject is related to one object. Chaque pronom personnel sujet est lié à un pronom personnel complément. So je is linked to me, M apostrophe, or moi. Meaning, if I does the action, moi is the one receiving the action for the first person. Première personne du singulier. Je, première personne du singulier. Tu, deuxième personne du singulier. Il and elle, troisième personne du singulier. Nous, première personne du pluriel. Vous, deuxième personne du pluriel. Il and elle with S, troisième personne du pluriel. Okay, all these subjects have their own equivalent, their specific equivalent when it comes to object. So, for example, je, the equivalent is going to be me, M apostrophe, or moi. I will explain later when we use me, when we use M apostrophe, when we use moi. I will explain. Today is just the matter of knowing that they exist and these are the ones. So next lesson is going to be explaining you when do you use me, when do you use M apostrophe, when do you use moi. So for je, you say me, M apostrophe, or moi. For tu, you say te, T apostrophe, toi. Il, it's going to be le, L apostrophe, ce, or lui. Elle, it's going to be la, L apostrophe, ce, or lui. For nous, it's going to be nous. Vous, it's going to be vous. For il, with an S, it's going to be les or leur. And for elle, it's going to be the same, les or leur. When you use je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, it's only to conjugate verbs. If you're not conjugating a verb, don't use those ones. Those ones, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, are just to conjugate the verbs. If you're not conjugating a verb, don't use them. That's it. That's for the pronouns. So if you got questions, don't hesitate to ask. You can make a comment on this video. If you got any questions for anything I haven't explained clearly, you can ask questions. So subscribe on this channel and ask any question you want. It's free. So you can subscribe for free. Ask any question for free. Right. Okay. So let's now see these pronouns. We say the pronouns, you go subject and object, but without verbs, your pronouns are meaningless. Yeah. If you don't use a verb, then your pronouns mean nothing. If I say je and I've got no verb, je what? If I say tu what? Tu nothing. If I say nous what? Nous nothing. So without a verb, the pronouns don't mean anything. So now we're gonna see the verbs. What are they?